So Rolex has just launched a new Batman, so let's talk about it, and mainly let's talk about what I think is going to happen with the old one. Welcome to Park and Jack, I'm Adrian, and this channel is just about me exploring watches. A massive thing has happened. I went to Baselworld, which was, it's open to everyone, anyone can go to Baselworld, but I went because of the channel, and I went for the channel, so that was quite a cool milestone. And I was able to see, I wasn't able to get hands-on with, but I was able to see the new Batman on the Jubilee bracelet. So I thought we'd talk about it. If you're into this sort of stuff, hit subscribe, because it really does help to boost the channel, and then I can leverage that to get in contact with bigger brands and get to play with more watches and then bring you more content. And the benefit to you guys is that you get to keep up to date with what's happening. There's going to be a lot of videos dropping in fairly quick succession because I've captured a massive amount of content from Baselworld. Hit subscribe so you don't miss out on stuff. Let's get into it. So Rolex has launched a new Batman. And true to kind of Rolex's style, it's a bit of a transitional move for them. They've done this in lots of other models, but I think there's quite a controversial area for this one because of the bracelet change. So they've changed three main things on the Batman. They've changed the movement, they've changed a tiny detail on the dial, and then of course they've changed the bracelet. So the movement, they've upgraded it from the 3186 to the 3285. The big difference is that the movement it's slightly larger, which has allowed them to have a larger barrel inside, which means that it's got a longer power reserve. So it's now got a 70-hour power reserve, which within the realms of watches isn't groundbreaking, but for Rolex, it's pretty decent. The movement's also more resistant to shock and to magnetic fields. We've discussed this movement in the past where I did a review of the Batman itself. I moaned that the Batman didn't have this movement, and I hinted that the Batman might come with this movement in the future. It's the same movement that's been in the Pepsi, so it's nothing new. It's just new to the Batman. On the dial, it's a tiny, tiny change, but it's going to be quite important when these new Batmans go into market. And the change is just at 6 o'clock. Where it says Swiss made, it now is going to have Swiss crown made. That's the only difference, really. It's the only difference that I've noticed within the dial. So the importance of this crown is the fact that this is going to be the only mark that allows us to see whether a Batman on a Jubilee is a genuine Mark II Batman on a Jubilee or a Mark I Batman on a Jubilee. You can tell because of this Swiss crown made. You'll see a few Batmans on Jubilees on Instagram, and it's just people messing about with the Pepsi Jubilee, putting it on their Batman. You can just tell because of this little detail at the bottom. Now the bracelet, this is the contentious bit. You can now only buy the Batman on a Jubilee bracelet. Now the Jubilee bracelet is cool from quite a few perspectives. It's cool looking. It's a classy looking bracelet. I think from an engineering point of view, it's a really nicely engineered piece of kit. It moves really well, and for something that looks relatively dainty and relatively dressy, it feels brilliant. Now the problem is that not everyone's going to like the look of it on the Batman. I don't like the look of it on the Batman. The blue and black has quite a sporty air about it, and obviously the Jubilee has quite a classy, quite a dressy air about it. It's fairly blingy. And I think there's a bit of mismatch there. There's something not quite right. On the Pepsi, I think it looks awesome. There's something classy about the red on the Pepsi. There's something joyful or playful about the blue on the Pepsi, and I kind of think that all works. And maybe it's just the fact that we're used to seeing a Pepsi GMT on a Jubilee, because that's what they used to come on. But now there's just something that just doesn't work. Now that I've seen it in the flesh, I really do think that this doesn't work. I do think that there's a mismatch between the whole sporty feel of the Batman and the dressy, quite classy feel of the Jubilee bracelet. I've had quite a few messages on Instagram from people saying, don't you wish you'd bought a Batman now, or are you annoyed that you bought a Batman that's on the Oyster bracelet? Absolutely not. I think it's far better looking on the Oyster bracelet. I still dislike the shininess of the center links, but as I mentioned in the review of this thing, it's only really when you're indoors that the shininess stands out. When you're outside, it kind of blends into itself, so it doesn't really matter. Now, the fact it only comes on the Jubilee and the old one, the Mark I, is on the Oyster. That's the reason why there's been this massive premium increase on the Batman. Before Basel, the Batman was kind of sitting around £9,000, £10,000. Post Basel, jumped. Crazy. I've seen them listed for £15,000. I've seen them listed for $20,000 in the US. Whether they sell or not for that is a completely different story. Just because someone has something listed as price X doesn't mean it sells for that. On eBay, you can look at sold items, and the most I've seen a Batman go for recently is £11,000. If someone starts selling a Batman for £15,000, then I might have to get involved with that, because that is a ridiculous amount of money. I understand it, because we are sticklers for detail. We are obsessed about the fine detail of everything, whether a dial says tritium dial, or whether something has the nipple markers, or whether something has maxi hands or normal hands. It's dot above 90. It's all these tiny details that we get obsessive about. So if we see a Batman, a Mark I Batman on a Jubilee bracelet, that will sell for less than a Mark II on a Jubilee bracelet. It will sell for less than a Mark I on an Oyster bracelet. We want things to be correct. And it's interesting because I think the movement change is quite irrelevant. If you dislike the Jubilee bracelet, you're not going to buy, and if you remove the money side of it all, if you dislike the Jubilee bracelet, you're not going to buy the new Batman over the old Batman just because of the movement change. The movement change is fairly minor, but generally speaking, we don't buy the watch because of the movement, we buy the watch because of the way it looks. And that's why the Oyster Batman is going to stay strong. But I think moving forward, the kind of trajectory for this is going to be a massive jump increase. It's going to plateau for a bit, and then I think it's going to continue to go up. There's a change in this watch, and people like the originals. Not everyone likes the Jubilee bracelet. I could be of a minority here. I'd love to know what you think about the new Batman on the Jubilee bracelet. Do a quick vote here and let's see what you guys think. We can compile it and see what the outcome is. I think the proof is in the fact that all resellers have increased their prices. Watchfinder completely sold out of Batmans. I've seen one listed today from 2015, box and papers, it's worn, and that's going for, I think, just shy of £14,000. There's a whole load on eBay going for quite a varied amount on there. So it's all over the place. It really is. And of course, with Rolex hype, everything just jumps up massively. But as I say, whether they sell for that amount is a completely different story. For research of this video and just trying my luck, I asked for a quote from Watchfinder. If you're in America, Watchfinder's the biggest reseller in the UK, and they were bought by the Richemont Group. I asked them how much they'd give me for my Batman, and their quote was $9,200. So either they're making an absolute killing on their watches, buying them for $9,200 and selling them for £13,000-14,000, or they're not that confident they're actually going to sell for that amount. I don't know. I haven't got a clue what their markup is on their watches. But I thought that was quite a soft offering. My guess is, and this is just a complete guess, is that the original Mark I Batman will continue to increase. It'll have that initial spike, plateau a bit, might even go down, but I think in the long run it will start to go up. Even when people start to piss about and put Jubilee bracelets on the Mark I Batman, we will want the original, the correct package. You know, that's just what I think. Guys, I'd love to know what you guys think. I dislike the new Batman on Jubilee. That is just my opinion. That's just my taste. I'd love to know what you guys think. Guys, I can't wait to show you the rest of the videos that I have from Baselworld. I got talking to brands which I don't usually talk about on the channel, and brands that I don't really have a connection with the guys that I'm not overly interested in their branding. So it's quite interesting just to go in. I tried to go in on a clean slate and just go in and accept what they had to offer. It is tricky because, of course, we have a preconception of what is going on within that brand. But it was really, really interesting at Baselworld, and I loved talking to the guys who I spoke to. And I'm annoyed that I didn't stay for longer. I could have stayed for longer, and I should have done. I only figured it out whilst I was going through passport control to get onto the aircraft. So that was bad decision. Anyway, guys, if you like this stuff, do hit subscribe. If you want to support the channel, jump into buckandjack.com and sort yourself out with a NATO strap. Check me out on Instagram at barkandjack. Nearly forgot that then. Check me out on Instagram at barkandjack, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.